Peace to you guys and welcome to my YouTube channel. So if you are new here, feel free to subscribe, leave a comment, that is appreciated. So I just bought a new lens for my camera and it works well. I'm grateful for it. Let's see how it's gonna serve me. Today I want to speak about the fact that it's perfectly okay to feel what you are feeling. Okay, so I'm realizing that the emotion must be accepted. And whenever we are being in resistance, we create suffering. But when we let go and when we are losing the attachment, it's like we create a new space for freedom, for abundance to come into our own lives. And what I'm seeing in my own journey is the fact that we gotta be courageous. Okay, we gotta be courageous. We gotta be in alignment with who we really are. And we can only do this when we are letting go. We can only do this when we are loving ourselves unconditionally. And it's okay to experience what you are experiencing. It's okay to experience what you are experiencing. It's okay to really go within yourself and see what happens. I believe that life is not perfect, and we are not perfect either as human beings. But we have the power to let go. We have the power to transcend. We have the power to move into a higher state of consciousness. And we do this by acceptance. So if you cannot accept yourself, you cannot operate free in this world. And what I'm realizing is the fact that the best relationship that I can ever have is the relationship that I have with my own self. So you gotta take care of your own self. You gotta take care of your own energies. You gotta take care of your own frequency. You gotta really respect yourself enough. And I'm realizing that this is actually something that is not easy to be done. This is not easy to be done because we get caught up in certain thoughts. We get caught up in certain frequencies that are not serving us. But what we must learn to do is learn to really increase the vibration, increase the consciousness, and really get to operate from and as love. I believe that if you want to grow, you also need to forgive yourself. And you also need to forgive others. Okay, so if you want to expand yourself, you gotta forgive yourself. And you do this by looking within yourself. You do this by being honest with yourself. You do this by seeing the other as yourself. So I'm realizing that sometimes we may create struggles. Like we may create fights. We may create things that are reflecting our egos. But the more that we learn to let go and the more that we learn to really be conscious of it, is the more that we have the power to expand our consciousness. And if you are feeling mad, be mad. If you are feeling sad, be sad. If you are feeling depressed, be depressed. But at the same time, realize that you have to also break it. You have to let it go. You have to be in that good, positive state of consciousness, but it's not always easy to be done. And sometimes you have to learn to be negative. Sometimes you have to learn to really accept also your own shadow. Sometimes you have to really, like I said before, it's okay to be positive, but we also need to learn to deal with our own shadows, with our own imperfections, So learn to love yourself. This is today's message. And realize that whatever you are feeling, that is actually okay to being felt. Okay, whatever you are feeling, that is actually an opportunity for growth and expansion. Okay, whatever you are feeling gives you the tools necessary to really get to expand your consciousness to the next level. Okay, so realize that things that are happening into your own life are a reflection of your own state of consciousness. And the more that you raise your state of consciousness is the more that you expand your awareness, is the more that you become aware of higher vibrational spiritual things, is the more that you become aware of higher vibrations. Okay, so realize that things that are happening are an opportunity for growth and expansion. And the more that you become the alchemist is the more that you realize that you have to accept yourself. The more that you become the alchemist is the more that you realize that you can either be in alignment or out of alignment. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes it's okay to be out of alignment in order to learn what happy is. Sometimes you need the darkness in order to know what the light is. Okay, so I'm realizing that the positive and the negative are two sides of the same coin. You cannot really go wrong at life. Okay, you cannot really go wrong at life. You cannot really fail unless you believe it in your own mind. So Bruce Lee said that defeat is only a state of the mind. Okay, if you say that you are not defeated, then you are not defeated. Okay, so don't give up. Don't give up on yourself, but learn to accept yourself, learn to love yourself, learn to embrace even your own imperfections and see what happens. Okay, so yes, I'm realizing that it's okay to experience what we are experiencing, and we need to give ourselves the time, freedom, and space necessary to evolve, even in our roughest moments. Okay, we need to learn to let go, even in the roughest moments. Okay, so realize that it's an opportunity for growth. Even the pain, even the suffering, that is actually an opportunity for growth and expansion. And you have to learn to let go of what is no longer serving you. You have to learn to let go of what is wounding you. You have to learn to accept yourself unconditionally. Okay? And if you're feeling pain, realize that if you accept it, you actually dissolve it. So if you're feeling pain and you accept it, you actually dissolve it. You actually transform it into a new state of consciousness, which is all about power, which is all about consciousness, which is all about freedom to express yourself. Okay? So I think that this is today's message, and today's message is nothing but realizing that it's okay to experience what you are experiencing. It's perfectly okay, and you have to realize that the universe makes no mistakes. So if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling depressed, that is an opportunity for healing yourself. That is an opportunity for you to move higher into a deeper state of consciousness. Guys, thanks so much for watching, and like always, see you on what is coming up next. And if you're new to my YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe, leave a comment, that is appreciated. And see ya on what is coming up next. Namaste.